Hey everyone, today on the podcast we have John Sully and Shane Hellman. They are the creators of the padded wall. So I'll let them kind of talk about their product in a little bit, but we met back at Home Gym Con year number 1 back in April of 2023. They've showcased the prototype of the padded wall. It's definitely a unique product, and I think a lot of people at the convention had fun using it. A little bit of time went past. I think it was late in the year 2023. I think maybe November or December. Shane was like, hey, we're getting close to launching something along the lines of, hey, I think we're going to be able to start selling these sometime soon. Any chance we can help we can come tell the story on your podcast? And I was like, yeah, definitely. And never heard back. I didn't think anything of it, but just never heard back. And it might have been just a few weeks ago or a month ago, Shane reached out and said, hey, we've been through the ringer with trying to get this through the manufacturing process. So we're gonna obviously discuss that. I'd love to hear your story. I think a lot of people who are in the industry would love to hear as well, and anybody thinking about it can probably learn or just help them know what to expect. Let's get started with just a little bit of background on yourself, and actually, if you could tell us how you came up with the idea of the padded wall.
So thanks for having us on, Jake. Really appreciate it, man. So I'm a physical therapist, personal trainer, have a gym here in Huntersville, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte, not too far away. But when we opened up 3 years ago, we were presented with an issue. We have neighbors on either side of us, and we needed a way of doing medicine ball slams and throws. Unfortunately, we were limited because obviously I didn't want to piss off my neighbors, and then I also didn't want to ruin my med ball. So we were looking for a novel idea, like, hey, how can we allow my users, my athletes, to really do medicine ball throws? John being the first person, like, hey, I'm a golfer, high-level golfer. I want to be able to do this. I need to be able to do medicine ball throws. And I'm looking for a way. I'm like, hey, I cannot lose my client because I can't do this certain exercise that replicates his sport. So how are we going to make this happen? And for me, I was like, hey, I'm just sure we have a brick walls on the back of the building. We're just going to set them outside there. Well, it turns out at 6 a.m, nobody really wants to go outside. John's like a really creative guy. He's like, hey, why don't we come up with a way to do the medicine ball throws using what equipment we already have? It's like, what does every gym have? Home gym, boutique gym, your big box gyms, everybody has a squat rack. So we started there, man. It's like really come a long way since that initial setup. We were using crash pads to start, just like using ratchet straps to hook it up to a squat rack. But I mean, that's where the idea was born, man. I needed to find a way for everybody to be able to do medicine ball throws with the equipment that I already had. I think that obviously has come a long way since then, but I think it's a story and obviously something that people are going to really enjoy.
Yeah, I think it's funny too. When we look back at the old pictures of the stuff that we were trying, it's like, oh man, this is absolutely crazy what we were doing. We were just draping over different fabrics, different paddings. It's kind of funny when we look back at what we've been through.
So what is it for anybody who's listening? Can you describe it so that they know if they haven't done any research prior?
The padded wall is a very simple product. I'm not going to overcomplicate it. It is a pad that attaches to a squat rack. So we use the stability of a J hook to hold 46 inches, just like any squat rack. So it makes it very universal for all users that have one. Now, it's designed to really withstand a beating. Like, we don't want to have to replace this product every 1-2 years. Like, we really want this product to be able to stand up the test of time, and obviously to the strongest of people as well. So we have the exterior, which is turf, which allows for it not to be such an aggregate rough surface. Like, most of the warranties you'll see on medicine balls are going to say if you slam it against something like a rough surface, the warranty's gone. And $125 for that medicine ball is gone. You got to order another one. So by using our pad, it's really going to increase the longevity of your medicine ball and still allow you to slam it as hard as you want, which really is the goal. I mean, it's a power exercise. We want to be able to get the most out of whatever exercise you're doing with them and not feeling like you have to hold back just because you're scared of either busting your balls or, hey, I don't know, hitting someone else in the gym or causing too much noise. So by allowing some of the products that are some of the features that we've had as far as the the foam as well as the turf. It really can help with the noise dampening as well. Just in case you have, you're in your garage, you have neighbors, whatever it is. We're really cognizant of that. Hey, like it's going to be sound dampening, so they can not have to listen to it as well.
Yeah, and if we look at like we've done some tests basically with our pad versus throwing against a wall or slamming it on the ground, and our pad actually has a 40 to 50% sound reduction depending on which one that is. But it has quite a significant sound reduction, which we wanted to do that, but we didn't think we were going to be able to deliver something that was that big. So obviously for the home gym users, that's really big. I've got a new son at home, so he's 14 months old. If I wanted to work out in my gym, in my garage, I'm not doing med ball throws against a wall, right? That's not going to happen. My wife would be very upset if I woke him up during a nap time. So it's definitely something that would appeal to a lot of the home gym users.
Absolutely. I mean, I think most people can. Obviously, they work out either early in the morning when the rest of their family is sleeping, or working out at night when other people are sleeping, or watching their favorite shows. Like, we're really cognizant, like, hey, like, we want to make sure you can do these workouts without disrupting everyone else, whether it's the gym, home gym, whatever it is.
And how big is it?
So the pad is designed to fit your standard squat rack. So it's 48 inches wide. So it'll sit right on the upright post, and it is approximately 32 high. So it's a big target. I know there's a lot of other options out there when you look at like what to throw a med ball against. There's med ball targets. Usually those are very small, they're very high up, so you're not going to be able to do your power throws up there. It's just your med ball tosses up there. But it's about 32 inches high. Provides you a lot of room so that if you don't have great aim, you can still throw it pretty hard and not have to worry. He's got mirrors behind his right now, and so we haven't hit one yet, which is always good. Yeah, it's definitely a big enough target where you don't have to feel like you let back on your power. Right? You can really let it go.
Right.
So that's what we were trying to do, and I think we've been able to successfully do that, I believe.
Cool. And what about the manufacturing journey? Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, man, we started out with a peak and like really thought that we were onto something. I think that we peaked too early, like most people that play sports in high school. But man, we looked up I watched most of your podcast. I really thought that it was a good fit for our product being just a small innovator. Really could relate to a lot of what Dylan from AdMat was talking about on your podcast previously. And so I was like, hey man, like let's get this home gym con. Let's see if we have a product here. I didn't really know of any other way of going about it. I was like, we're not reaching out to manufacturers. No one will return our call. Let's just go to Home Gym Con and let's just see what we have. I mean, we printed out like a poster. We got 2 T-shirts made. I don't know that we had anything else other than that. And we just drove up there and we brought the pad with us. It was prototype number 1. I think I picked it up from a seamstress that does boat interior the day before. So it was rough and it was rugged, but nonetheless, we went up to Home Gym Con, which like we were the OGs, the first event, which is awesome. Seeing how much you've grown, which congratulations on that, by the way.
Awesome.
But we got there and I'm talking within 10 minutes, I see Dylan and I'd seen him on your podcast. I was like, John, throw me a ball, give it to me. And I start slamming against the wall, and he comes over right away, and he's like, we've had so many people request a product like this for us to manufacture it and make it that it would just it's just so crazy to see it here in person. And obviously he has a few critiques, which Dylan, they were really insightful and obviously, but they showed a really strong interest. And I was like, me and John went out for pizza thinking hey, they were taking our prototype back with them. So we thought we had really landed a good partner to help us further that journey. Cause hey, I'm a physical therapist, personal trainer. John's a pharmacist. This isn't something we're looking to create some manufacture or some gym equipment empire. We just had a good idea and a good product and we wanted to see it through, obviously. But unfortunately, while this seems like it'd be a really easy DIY project, it's not. The foam is very expensive. The quality of the foam matters. If we want to make it here in America, which with AdMat, Dylan and Austin, that was important to us as well as having it to be an American made product. Hey, there's a cost that comes with all of that, and while it seems very simple, I mean, when you get down further down the rabbit hole, it's not. So unfortunately, like that relationship just like it like shot up really high and like really quick, but unfortunately, it just like didn't really come to fruition like we thought it would. And then we had just like a few other like avenues with other manufacturers, like other gym equipment places that seemed like they were going to be really hopeful, but each one just kind of ended up just like kind of ghosting us and just like turned into nothing. So we tried going to manufacturer. Like John found this really great one. He can tell you a little more about what we thought when I emailed you in December. That's when I actually thought we were moving forward with this manufacturer. John can tell you a little more about that.
Yeah, so I mean, honestly, we were stuck. We had nowhere to go. At that point, we were kind of like, do we continue? I'm not one to give up things very easily. So I'm just like, okay, well, let's just push. Let's see what we can do. So I'm sending out, emails, calling different manufacturers. We get hooked up with somebody that actually has nothing to do with the gym industry. Just somebody that was, their CEO was very interested in working out. Saw our product and was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let us know how we can help you. And so we worked with them. It was probably 6 months, 8 months. They went through like a busy time where they were focused on a few other things because obviously we're small, right? We weren't promising a large purchase order or anything like that. So we got kind of a little deprioritized, I would say, but they still very accommodating. They wanted to help us. Um, and when we're working through them, we're getting different prototypes, different things, trying different materials. Because at the end of the day, what they were able to provide us, it was either the quality wasn't quite what we were used to from what we had, or the size was maybe a little bit off. That's another thing with our product, right? Like it's a fairly large product, so shipping is something that we got to be cognizant of. So very minor details can cause $100, $200 shipping increase, and so that's not something that would want to pass on to customers or anything like that. So we had to be very cognizant of that. So we worked through a lot of those kind of challenges with them, and we just weren't able to get to something where we could say, okay, yes, let's do a production run. Let's get to that point. And so we got into those crossroads again where we were talking like continue. It's tough because I mean, we took the pad to your the home gym con, right? And we got all this great feedback from all these people. There's a lot of people that were kind of or they weren't really when they saw our thing, right? It was very crude, and they weren't expecting to have fun, or they weren't expecting it to be anything. But they started throwing the ball on the wall, and we're measuring how fast they're throwing it, that kind of stuff. Everybody had a smile on their face.
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
one thing that I've noticed. Like everybody likes throwing a ball against something hard as fast as they can. Like no matter who you are. I mean, I could go to my son and say, take this ball, and he's going to throw it against something, and he's just going to have the greatest time throwing against something. So I think that's another piece that like our equipment or our padded wall, like it brings some joy into just working out that you're not used to. But yeah, so like we're at these crossroads, and what do we do? We've talked with Austin and Dylan before, and we're like, well, let's reach out to them again, just see what's going on. We kind of stopped communicating with them before that. They were just busy. Like I don't know. I mean, last year,
Yeah, you see how many products they put out, man.
it was amazing, right?
And for
Yeah,
every
and they're a
product
small
they
team.
put out, there's 5 other ones that they're working on right now. I mean, they
Mm-hmm.
really keep busy. So I mean, John really bridged that gap and like, hey, reached back out just to give it the last ditch effort, and there was interest there in helping us out. Like Austin, Dylan. I mean, and now we're working mainly with Austin now, but I mean, they've been great through the process. Like, yeah, man, like they're really supportive. In no way have they told us like, hey, you have a dumb idea, like it's not going to work, it's too expensive, whatever it is, man. Like he's been supportive, and obviously he has way more expertise than we do in the industry. And he's just been available to really help us out through the manufacturing challenges. And I think everybody, as far as your listeners, know the quality of AdMat products. While there's not an AdMat brand on our product, they're manufacturing it for us, so you can trust it that it's a really good product, and we really are happy to obviously show it off to some people.
Got it. I wasn't expecting that. I wasn't expecting you to go back to
It's the
AdMat.
full circle
Either-
moment, man. Either way.
Another quick story. So we talked about like when we went to your home gym con, that first one. We're driving up there, right, from North Carolina. It's about what 8 to 10 hour drive. I think it was an 8 hour drive.
Long.
Mm-hmm.
We created our Instagram page on the way up there. We didn't have anything like we're
Nothing.
we were. He's in the passenger seat, going uptown. I'm like, oh, put this there, put that there. We had a couple of random pictures that we threw up there. We created like this makeshift website. We did that all on the drive there, and so it was kind of funny because I'm sitting here driving and he's over there just creating all these different things that we had no clue. So we definitely learned a lot through this whole process, and it's been fun, but it has been a challenge.
Very interesting. I mean, I remember talking to Shane. I think it was you, Shane, and you're just like, hey, it was like a blind email a few months before the show. Hey, I listened to your podcast. I have this product we're thinking about doing. We're hoping to come, or I don't
Right.
exactly remember, but
Yeah.
I remember you were just hoping to meet a few good connections,
That's
and
it, man.
yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when we left your event, we were like on cloud nine, thinking we had done it. Obviously,
I kinda
it
remember
did in a
that,
way.
yeah.
I mean, eventually it came full circle, but no, man. But at your event, and I'm sure everybody's aware of your event by now, but I mean, there were so many different people there as far as innovators like us, just small products up into, and then you got the reps, you got the ad match, you got the rogues of the world there as well, but kind of just ranging from each size. And I mean, we got so much good information from all of them as well. I mean, really supportive community.
yeah. So like a year and a half later, finally have something that's out for pre-order. I see on your website. I've seen some
Yeah.
Instagram posts.
It's available.
Yeah. So can you tell us what's the current status? I think I saw 10 weeks or so as far
Yeah.
as the pre-order.
Yeah, so we have the pre-order right now. So it was about 10 to 12 weeks from when we started. So when you think back, that was October 18th. So we are expecting sometime probably mid December to get our first full shipment of the pre-orders. And again, it's made by AdMat, so we know we can definitely trust the quality and the type of product they're going to be able to put out for us. So yeah, so we're putting this last ditch effort, right? This was like our last Hail Mary to AdMat. I don't know if you watched the Bears game over the last weekend, but sometimes you complete some of those passes. Yeah, I'm a Bears fan, so
Yeah.
but yeah, sometimes you complete those passes and things work out. So we're really hoping that this one works out for our favors.
Yeah, and just because we've had so many challenges with manufacturing, I think people think that obviously that gives a black eye to the product itself. Like, the product is a great product. It really is. I use it daily. I think that people kind of think of it as a little bit like it's gimmicky. Like, hey, it's a medicine ball throw. How often would I use that? Does it really warrant, obviously, the investment in the space that it requires in the gym? And it absolutely does. I mean, I think that you have strength taken care of in any gym, home gym included. You have conditioning, whether it's the bike, rower, stair stepper I see in your background. Like, we have those two covered. And yes, you can do power, like you can do power exercises, Olympic lifts, but like not everybody wants to at 6 a.m. start doing hang cleans and like powers, like thrusts. Like, you can do other things that are actually more entertaining to get primed up for doing your big lift. I think that's where our product really fits in, man. Like, hey, do a medicine ball throw, get the system ramped up before you get to your strength exercise. I don't think there's any other product to do that. Wall balls don't do that. Medicine ball slams are great, but once again, you're going to be going through medicine balls very, very quickly, and you're only working in one plane of motion. Like I know that at your place or at your convention, everybody were power lifters. A lot of people were power lifters. You can tell these guys have never rotated in their life. It's always forward and back, and that's great. And you're strong in those positions. But I mean, there's a really like a big gap in your training if you're not rotating. And so, I mean, if you want to do any of the athletic endeavor in your life, golf, tennis, you name it, it requires rotation. So it's a product that I think allows everyone to be able to kind of create a little more creativity in their workout plan.
And have fun.
Exactly.
So that's what I was going to say. I don't know if, we've done 2 years of home gym con, and I do remember everybody who threw it against the the wall was like, oh, that's fun. And I can definitely see it where it is like an easy thing for like kids to do. And I'd be curious to hear like two questions. So like who like I'd be curious to hear like what does if you're to be successful in the next 6 months, what does that look like for you? And then like who are the first who are the early adopters? Who are the first people that are going to see the most benefit and potentially catch on to this product and help eventually spread the word?
Yeah, I think that for John and myself, I think that we've identified that golfers are going to be a big target kind of demographic that we're after. There's some big influencers that we've been in contact with as far as like, I mean, you can't turn on Instagram. I don't know if your algorithm, but everywhere I go is golf trainers just trying to teach you how to get more thoracic mobility, how to get more out of your drive, your swing. You know, and everyone's doing medicine ball throws. But not everybody can do that in a home setting or in a boutique gym setting. And that's where our product, like, we really need to highlight and be able to get in touch with that community, whether it's golfers that have the home gym capabilities or get in touch with small gym owners that have, like, everybody has squat racks that they can benefit from using our product in order to allow their clients that are seeing places on Instagram that are doing the medicine ball throws.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the good thing about these medicine ball throws that when you look up all these exercises, um, like before I was an athlete growing up, I played sports in college, like football. Like I did all these lifts to create power, right? Like I've done them all my life until I started doing these medicine ball throws here with Shane over the past year and a half. Like I gained 20 yards. Like I already hit the ball kind of far, but I gained 20 yards on every shot that I had, basically, just through doing these medicine ball throws. And like I was astonished. Like, and he has people come to the gym all the time. I play with a few of them from time to time, and like they start training. I'm like, oh, okay, you don't hit the ball that far, and then next week or next month, 2 months later, they're hitting the ball 10, 15 yards farther, and it's like, oh wow, this really works. Golfers are definitely part of the equation for us. We feel like because I mean, I would say probably 50% of the people play golf at some capacity, whether it's just business or not, like business or fun. And everybody likes to hit the ball farther. I haven't found one person that's asked not to hit
Chicks
the ball farther.
dig the long ball always.
So I think that's definitely an aspect. Or if you've got kids, I think that's another one where you've got kids that are going to be playing baseball, football, any type
Tennis,
of
volleyball,
yeah,
all of them.
any type of sport where you're going to have to rotate, throw. Yeah, I mean, any type of linear power, like it's definitely something that applies to pretty much every sport.
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get better at a sport, you need to train in a way that replicates your sport. And barbells and dumbbells don't allow you that. So by having the medicine ball and being able to replicate it with power, I mean, it's the perfect recipe for actually being a better athlete.
Cool. Is this something you like think you need to patent, or are you afraid of people copying?
So we've started the process of the patent. So we had a patent pending. Yeah, I think we've kind of thought about that. We've had quite a journey here. Yeah, I mean, if people want to try to copy it, I know people are trying to create their own. They're going to find that it is difficult to kind of build this on your own, do it their way. We've done a lot of the hard work in determining, okay, this foam works best for sound dampening. This foam works best for the bounce back. So I think we have a unique combination of foam, and we also have that turf on the outside as well that provide, like, we've done the research for you. So
To answer your question, though, Jake, I mean, nothing's stopping someone from copying the product and having a bigger brand to stand behind it. And I mean, hey, if that's what happens, then obviously we wish them the best of luck. But we do think that obviously a lot of gym users, they appreciate that the original innovator, they kind
Yeah.
of give them a little more credit, and us having the backing of an manufacturing a product. I don't see there any reason for them to go elsewhere. Obviously, there's going to be overseas products that come in a little cheaper, but I think that most people are kind of smart to know that, like, hey, that quality might not be the same, and yeah, you can buy it once for a cheaper price, but you're going to be replacing it in half the time as well. So, hey, if they replicate it, awesome. We know that we have a great idea, and obviously, hey, someone could do it. But I'm hoping they don't, and I'm hoping people buy a lot of these.
Yeah, cool. All right. Well, anything else before we close it?
I mean, we do have our website, so it's thepaddedwall.co. You can find out all the information there. We do actually have a free shipping promo code going on right now for us as well. So all the information is on our website there, and it's the padded wall 24 would be that free shipping code. So yeah, check us out online. Send us Instagram message if you have any questions. You can send us an email as well. support@thepaddedwall.co. We're happy to answer any questions, like for your specific gym setup, anything that you may have on your mind. Check us out, give us a follow. We really appreciate it, and appreciate you having us on here today.
Absolutely, and hopefully a lot of your listeners request for us to make a return to Home Gym Con, man. It's there, and we'd love to join you again, man. It was a fun time.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to have you back. I wish you luck. I hope you have some early success enough to say, oh yeah, we're coming back to Home Gym Con. That'd be awesome. But yeah, definitely a cool product. I hope the word can spread, and you get the right initial companies or initial customers to help, again, the right customers to help spread the word. So yeah, thanks. I'm glad to hear everything worked out with AbMat as well. Yeah, good luck, and hopefully we'll see each other down the road.
Absolutely. We'll see you, man.
Yeah.
It's going to go well.